And yesterday we saw some profound social statements before and during both of the games. Obviously, you guys take the court tomorrow. Is there anything specific beyond what we've seen so far that we might anticipate from the Miami Heat?
That was incredible. I think all of us watching to be able to see the unified message, I think, is what made it so powerful. And you'll see something very similar, in our game, and collaborate with the Nuggets to do that.
Jason Jackson, go ahead.
Spell, good morning. A little bit more on the anticipation of that moment and that power as the anthem is going on. The one thing that resonated most to me was the intensity of each player and coach in that moment. I assume you anticipate the same thing for you and your crew.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that we've discussed several times while we've been here in the bubble. And you could see the emotion out of everybody, the players and the staff. But again, the unified message in this fight against systemic racism and racial inequalities is something that our entire association is united to fight against. And that's a powerful, powerful moment and statement. And it has nothing to do with, the politics or how we all feel about the flag. In my mind, this is an and. It's not an either or a but. Yeah, you can feel a certain way about honoring the flag and the country, and feel that there needs to be some significant changes in the system, regarding racial inequalities.
I spoke over here. Related to that, 8 years ago, your team had a profound statement about this matter with the hoodies. Just that journey from that moment to this moment, what have you seen from not only the players involved, but what have you kind of gone through in terms of keeping track of some of these issues and seeing it?
I think what's most disappointing and disturbing that was 8 years ago, and in that moment you felt like this could be an opportunity for change, and it didn't really change anything. And there has been continued examples of police brutality and the racial inequalities in the system, and there is a different I think feeling of hope right now that this is not losing momentum, and more people are really starting to acknowledge that there is something wrong, and then taking steps to change that. And I think being here in the bubble again, it's an and situation. This entire association is incredibly grateful and excited to be playing competitive basketball again. All of us last night, as we were watching the game, there's just so many different emotions. And it is an historic opportunity to take steps to create lasting, sustainable change in this fight against racial inequalities.
Hey, Coach, I'm curious, has the NBA talked to you guys about if this hurricane that's in the Caribbean now heads west and hits Orlando? Have they briefed you on any of that?
Not, for a few weeks. Before we arrived here, we had a Zoom call where they reminded everybody where we live. I don't think they needed to remind our organization. We're well aware of this time of season, and that it's not a matter of if, it's usually just a matter of when and how big. So our eyes are always wide open, and thinking about our families at home, and then be able to react accordingly. But this is an extremely safe place. If you're going to be somewhere, I think this place will be able to handle a significant storm, I think the bigger concern is, our families at home.
Hey, Spo, regarding tomorrow's game, do you expect all 17 to be available tomorrow? I know only 13 can be active, but do you expect all 17 to be available?
Yeah, everybody's practiced the last few days, including KZ. He was the only one really that missed a couple of days, but he's been doing all of his work and already feeling significantly better. Everybody be available, so the head coach will have to make some tough calls and communicate that. Particularly in this situation, I just wish all 17 guys be available. They're not going to be in suits anyway. They're going to be sitting there. Might as well have them available, but that's not the case.
And going back to the first question about the cutouts of Pat and Andy and Mickey and Nick and Shane and Alonzo, Andy's on most trips, Pat is on some trips. What has it been like to be without them during this time? And you talk about technology, what's the level of communication with those guys back home, after practices, just when you're going over planning and things like that?
Yeah, the technology has helped quite a bit. They're able to watch the practices. They get my daily notes. I communicate with them frequently, either FaceTime or just a quick call. That hasn't changed, but there's nothing like the human element of connection. I do miss that. We'll make the most of it. These are not normal times. They all would love to be sitting here at the table. So we're going to make them feel as much like they're with us as possible.